Good morning, and here we are on the first proper chilly morning of the autumn. We're in the boatyard and we're just getting her all sorted out, ready for going in for blacking this week. To lay all the solar panels flat and then they'll be covered with blankets and everything has to come off the roof. They're going to put polythene all over the top of the boat and down the sides because it's going to be shot blast on Monday and I don't want anything getting onto the rest of the boat. So it'll be covered right down to the gunnels. When we had the boat built in 2019, the boatyard that built it wasn't able to shot blast before the paint went on, and we decided not to have it done because it was quite expensive craning it out, getting it shot blasted and craning it back again, and we didn't realise how important it was to get it shot or sandblasted because you get mill scale left if you don't do that, and then you get a problem with adherence. So we had 2-pack put on the bottom, which is an expensive paint, but last year when we took it out on the Basingstoke Canal to do some touching up work, we noticed that it was coming off in strips, so we tied it up as best we could and put Joton on where it had come off, but we realised we were going to have to bite the bullet. So it's a really expensive process, so it was a total false economy not to get it done at the time, but we didn't know any better. So anyway, it's all going to be shot blasted and 2-packed next week, and then we're staying in this boatyard for the winter. They've got a dry dock which you can DIY in, so we'll be able to touch up all the paintwork, because with the best will in the world, I've been trying to do it as we've been going around and it just doesn't work. There isn't time, the towpath is on the wrong side, it's raining, whatever, so we're going to leave it here. And they also do engine services here and they're a really nice bunch of lads, so it's going to be a good place to be. Your boots mainly. There's not usually that much water overtopping the dry dock, but it has rained a lot lately, and now we've just floated the boat in and we're going to let the water out of the dry dock and it'll sit down on some sleepers ready for the work to be done. It's been a week since we left our boat in the boatyard and we're up early and we're driving up from Brighton ostensibly to go and get the plants and everything off the boat, but during the week that we've been away, the River Trent and the River Soar have gone into flood with Storm Babette, and everything's, well, it's overtopped onto the fields, etc. All the locks are overtopped and nobody's moving anywhere, so we're quite happy to go up and see, make sure everything's all right as well. So we've just got the M25 and the M1 to go, and hopefully we'll be there by lunchtime. Oh my god, there's so much water. Arrived at the boatyard and we had to do a quick stop at Screwfix so Henry could get some wellies, which are very shiny and new. Do they fit? Yeah, well they're size 8, so they're alright. Yeah, they're not safety boots though. No. So now we're going to go and see what's occurring over here. Listen, a lot of water on the way here. Well, that was a grass path down to the pub last week. And here's the canal. And there's the Look at our boat with her shiny new blacking. We are nearly floating. So this is dry dock, which is not very dry. But luckily they got her all finished before the storm came in. Oh, that looks nice. And we had the black done right up the back there as well. So all I've got to do now, next spring, when we put her into the dry dock over there, is to tidy up that gunnel, which looks terrible now. Well, that's where we are over there. And it's good to see with all the flooding around, even though it's almost the top here, that we're going to be safe over there for the winter. Because this is probably the worst flooding that's been around here for a while, so, and it's fine over there. All the boats have slackened their ropes off. But we're walking down now to the bottom of the Erewash Canal, which is just a few hundred yards down here, and out onto the river. We're going to go and see Dan and Sarah, see how they're faring. This boatyard was started by the great grandfather of the present owner, Steve, and he built these amazing houseboats down here. And this is the one that Steve lives on, built in the colonial style. You could almost imagine it down on the bayou. Really good boatyard. They're giving us a good price for winter mooring, and they've done a sterling job on our blacking. Really pretty down here. Well, here we are at Trent Lock, going on to the River Trent, and the river and the canal are at exactly the same height. There's no drop at all. Wow, I've just spotted the river. Oh my days.
Oh yeah, it's different.
Oh yeah, it's about 8 inches difference. So obviously the Erewash is still able to drain a little into the river, which is why the canal's not overtopping. This is the lock waiting area in here, underwater, and the river is moving really fast over there. And I saw today that further down the Trent, the neap tide coming up the Trent isn't any match for the flow of the floodwater coming down, and so even though the tide is coming in, the river is flowing out. You definitely wouldn't want to be risking your boat down the River Trent in this. Well, actually we won't be going round to see Dan and Sarah because this is the towpath, and that's Sawley Marina up there. The river is just everywhere with a really fast flow on it. Wow, the power of water, eh? Slight problem with our stove. We lit it and the whole boat filled with smoke, so we cleaned the chimney, but then we realised that I think what happened when the boat was painted, they didn't cover the chimney up when they took the cover off the shot blasting, and Storm Babette has just poured down the chimney, and our oven is full of water. Everything's wet in there, and access is tricky, so we've got to try to take everything apart and clean it out. It's like I've smoked a packet of 20 Rothmans in here. It's horrible. We're having to take the whole oven off, aren't we? Oh, God. We've forgotten how to attach the oven, so we've had to, well...
Look at the water.
I know. Oh, it's so annoying. What do you want?
Paper. Wipe my hands a bit.
Use that cloth. I've got some more cloths.
Anyway, that's loose now, I think. Let's try it. Yeah, there we go.
Some water all coming out of there.
Yeah, well, maybe it's a good idea to get this done anyway.
Yeah. Oh, and that's what it looked like under the oven. Okay, I'll go and find another cloth, eh?
Mm.
Well, we finally got the fire going last night on about the 4th attempt. We dismantled it all and got rid of all the wet, stinky stuff inside. And we got it really hot last night. We had to have the windows open because it had smoked up in here so much several times that I couldn't sit in it. So we had a hot fire going, windows wide open, and got the stove, hopefully, all dried out. And this morning, before we go, I'm just polishing it up with some black grate and barbecue polish. It's quite good, this stuff. It makes the fire look instantly better, but it does stink the next time you light the fire, so you have to sort of open the windows and let all the fumes burn off. But because of all the water that was in the stove, it's instantly gone rusty, being iron. But all is well in the end. And we are very safe here on the bottom of the aero wash, where we'll be now until the spring. We're going to also touch up all the paintwork here later and get our engine serviced here. So it's a one-stop shop and it's among really nice people, so we're happy to be here, happy to come here. The owner is great. His name's Steve. As I said earlier in the video, his family have been here for a long time. And in fact, he sort of took this place over in the 80s, I think, the early 80s, where it was quite derelict by then because the leisure boat industry wasn't really going until the late 70s, early 80s, and the boatyard had fallen into disrepair. But he took it over and he built a wooden boat and sold it and realised there was a business here. So now they continue to do that. They have moorings here. They bring narrowboats in to do this, you know, the blacking work, paint work on them, sign writing, and all that sort of thing. So he's managed to build the business up, and it's very low key. It's all word of mouth here. Although they are thinking about coming into the 21st century and getting a small website up and running. I think he's got daughters on board to help him do that. So it is a really nice place, and I would thoroughly recommend it if you want to get your boat blackened. Their pricing is really good, very competitive, and they're just really nice people. Just make sure you get them to put your chimney cap back on when they're finished. Anyway, I think that's probably it for this video now. And now until the spring there'll just be the very occasional video because we're going to be back in Brighton. I shall be back on my other Instagram account, which is The Ceramic Gardener, because I'll be teaching. I'll put the odd video out, but we'll see you again occasionally over the winter, and that's it for now. Okay then, thanks for watching. Have a good week everyone. Bye.